What up, what up, what up? This is Shan. This is a Cozy Room Drive-In. We're going to talk about what manners you're teaching your toddlers or your school-age children right now. What manners are you teaching? That's what we're going to talk about. Okay, let's go. Alright, so we all know kids need structure, okay? My father was strict on the manners. Yes, please. No, thank you. Miss, Mrs. We didn't do a lot of ma'am and a lot of sirs. I feel like that's more so a southern thing. My father was Jamaican and we were in Philly. That's up north. So we didn't do all the ma'am and sir. I didn't hear that till I was like 15 in Georgia. He was very strict on respect. Like I said before, anytime we were eating breakfast, lunch, dinner, you pray first. You sit at the table in the kitchen, then you eat. There was no sitting in the living room. There was no eating in your room. There was no sitting at the dining room table in the other room, unless it was like holiday, somebody's birthday, or Sunday. As far as your bedtime, 9 o'clock. You already know you should be clean, showered, your clothes laid out the next day. Just prepare for the next day. There was no TV in our rooms. There was only one TV downstairs. We knew after Jeopardy was off, it was a wrap. This is back when TV went off. When you went off. My mom, I'm not saying that she was like, oh, you can do whatever you want, but my mom was like, do whatever you want. But by no means did any of my siblings, my brothers, or myself disrespect her by telling her what to do or anything like that when my mother and my father divorced. But it was more so she was very lenient, not disciplined, and if you prayed, you prayed. If you said thank you, said thank you. If you ate around the table, you ate around the table. Or you eat in the living room. Or you eat when you eat. If you went to bed at 9 o'clock, you went to bed at 9 o'clock. But she wasn't strict about it. She wasn't strict about anything. She was super easy, and because her parents were super strict, where her parents were both Jamaican, and they raised 13 kids in Jamaica. She was super easy and super lenient because, her parents were raising her brothers and sisters where if one of y'all got in trouble, all y'all got a beating because that person should have looked over this person should have made sure this was done. And everybody got it. So she always hid from her mom. Her mom was super strict, not very inviting, didn't like a lot of hugs, just very like, get off of me. Her father, my grandfather, he's very calm, a reflective person, very observant, easygoing, but swift if he have to come with the belt. You're not going to see it coming. And then by the time he put down his hand, he's already halfway out the room. So, I don't know. For me, I had to discipline myself. And I don't want my kids to grow up like that. So, I do believe in the belt. I do believe in please and thank you, may I. As far as praying at the table over food and stuff, I haven't introduced that yet to my 4-year-old. I want to, but at the same time, I want to make sure I'm consistent with it for myself so she don't call me out. But that will be something I will be working on for myself. It's not that I didn't have manners, I just knew it wasn't a big deal to my mom on certain things that I did. I want to teach my kids the please and thank yous, the no gimmies, not yelling in the house. That way they know how to act in the car and in the public space. I always tell Anya not to yell in the car because it's dangerous. I don't want to get scared and, move the steering wheel any type of way, or her scare her sister, and then that's going to scare me. Or in public, running in the store. When I go in the store with Anya, she knows she needs to stay close. If I don't put her in the cart, or she knows she don't walk off with anybody. When my friends take Anya out, I always have a talk with her and let her know you don't walk off with anybody but this person. You don't hit anybody. You don't let anybody touch you here, there. You have those talks with your kids because you have to. It's 2018. People are out here doing whatever. Even when I drop her off at my family's place, I tell her that, no screaming when you don't get what you want, no yelling, no crying. If you want something, you need to say what you want. There's no crying for things. If you're told no, then it's no. There's no need to scream about it or cry about it or have an attitude. I always check her on that. No fighting. My mom allowed my brothers and I to fight to the blood. I'm talking about chairs were broken, tables were broken, weights. I remember throwing weights at my brother's heads in the house. There were stitches involved. There were plates involved, knives involved, people getting kicked in the ribs, people fighting outside in the yard. That was my house. My mom allowed it. But I don't want that level of just nonsense in my house. I don't want it. And I want my girls especially to know that, hey, that's your sister, vice versa. There's no need for you to yell, kick, fight for things in here. And I don't want that, that negative energy in my house. My house is very peaceful. And that's how I want it to be. I don't want to be stressed over my kids not knowing how to act among themselves with other people or act with each other. As a parent, I respect people who do parental things. I'm still trying to decide if I want my girls to do certain things or be told to have faith in certain things that they don't understand yet. I'm still deciding on that. Opening doors for older people, I want them to learn that. Saying excuse me when you need to get by instead of just pushing by like most people do. Respecting adults and not talking back to people who are older than them. That's really big because when I go out in public now, that's all I see is kids feeling a need to have the last word or a need to talk back. And I don't want that to come into a habit where you tell your kids something and they feel like they always need to explain themselves in order to get their point across. Like if that's going to make a difference. My answer is still no. And for them to understand, like, no is not a punishment. No is a I love you in some cases. No is a I want to make sure that you're safe in some cases. No is a prevention in some cases, especially coming from a parent. And a lot of kids don't get that. And some of the time, if I choose to, I'll explain to Anya, which is a 4-year-old, why I told her no on something the day before or earlier in the day. So she'll get it and know where it's coming from. Sometimes. But sometimes if I don't feel like I need to give you an explanation, I don't need to give you an explanation. It was so funny. The other day she asked me, she was like, Mom, look. And she was pointing to like the bags under her eye. I said, Anya, that's from you not going to sleep when I tell you to go to sleep. You like to stay up and sneak the phone because the phone has no number. She just has my apps on my old phone, and that's what she uses with apps on it. And I keep telling her to go to her bed, but when I'm in the shower, she goes to sneak the phone, and she'll be up in the bed on the phone just playing and stuff, and she don't go to sleep. So she was pointing out her bags under her eyes, and I told her what it was from. So last night I made sure I took the phone from her at 7:30, and she was pissed. But eventually she went to sleep. So sometimes no is going to make sure your child is in a better predicament. And sometimes you can let them know that, sometimes you don't have to. But as far as manners, yes, please teach your kids some manners before you bring them out in public, because when your kid's in a restaurant, when your kid's in the movies, when your kid is in a store, and I see other kids acting a whole fool, I look at the adult that's around them. And I'm judging. I, as a parent, I'm judging. And if you don't want to be judged in the most negative light, teach your kids how to respect you, respect themselves, and respect other people in public. Teach them those manners, okay? Toddlers learn quick. That's the best thing to teach them. School kids, when they go to school, they see other kids acting a fool, they're going to bring that home. They're going to try you. Anya's not in school yet, but I know it's coming, and I'm prepared, okay? I got the leathers. These hands are ready. Let's go. All right? Teach your kids some manners, please.